Let's talk about siblings in fiction. A lot of the time when I read fictional books, particularly if you're talking sci-fi or fantasy, a lot of these characters appear to be only children, especially if there's, the whole mysterious parentage thing going on. So you don't know if they have siblings, you don't even know who their parents are, they're just kind of floating out there in a non-family way, and they have to kind of build a family around them. So there's that. Then there's also you know who the parents are, but there are no siblings, somehow they were an only child. And I understand the author's need to control the size of the cast in the story, so that there are no extraneous characters, and a lot of the time the friends play a greater role in the story than, say, a character's siblings. On the other hand, it would be so cool to see more sibling groups in science fiction and fantasy. For example, one of my favorite families ever are the Weasleys from Harry Potter. There are 6 kids in the family. 6. Which is a large family, fictionally speaking. Also, in general. But in fiction, it's enormous. And not every one of the Weasley siblings play a vital role in the story, but a number of them do. I mean, what would the story be without the twins? Without Ginny? Without the Mr. and Mrs.? It's not just about Ron, even though he's the main Weasley that we hear about. It's about the entirety of his family and his family context and what they bring to the story, even though they're just side characters. So I'm not advocating, bloating the story with a bunch of non-essential side characters who really have no functionality, but I do love it when an author takes the time to develop a backstory and a context to the main character or the important side character. It brings a richness to their backstory that really matters. And this is something I really like to experiment with in my own stories in a way that is natural to the story and that drives it forward. And a lot of this is probably just because of my own background. I am one of 6 children, and my husband's one of 6 children. My best friend was one of 8. Her husband was one of 8. My sister's husband, one of 4, another sister's husband, one of 6. I am surrounded by large families, and I love it. It's so fascinating when you get together and see how people all from the same gene pool are so different. They are so different. And I think that's one of the things that fiction could explore so well, is to take these different brother-sister combinations, multiple sibling combinations, and explore this very tight integral relationship that you just don't get anywhere else. A closeness that's not romantic, but that is very intense. Blood is thicker than water kind of thing. So tell me how you feel about siblings and sibling groups in fiction, and tell me about your favorite sibling group or duo in fiction.